Hello guys, this is Nacho Matthias from www.learningalias.co.uk. In this video we're going to be continuing with curves. So here I have a 3-degree curve, one span, okay, and I will explain to you what is the pivot point of an object. Okay, if I select all the curve, you see this little green point here. Now usually this point is in starting in CV or in this CV, okay, but I think I just moved it in a previous video, so now it's here. It can be anywhere. So if I pick my shift control, my marquee menu, with the middle mouse button of my mouse, here I can move the pivot, okay. So if I pick this option and now drag my pivot, you'll see this pivot here, and I think we have another one here. Let's pick this curve. If I pick this curve, we should only have one pivot point per object. I think the other one is from this curve. Is here. No, it was a glitch on the program. Okay, don't worry. Pick the curve. Yeah, we should have only one. I don't know, maybe repeat it. Okay, so if I move this point, I can put it anywhere on my 3D space. And now what is why is important this point? Because now if I pick the curve, okay, and I do let's say rotation, okay, my curve is going to rotate based on this point, okay. So yeah, I know what is happening. I've got here another curve. Well, it's just a CV. Maybe I drew previously another curve. Yeah, so I'm gonna get rid of this curve and select again this curve, and this is its pivot point. So if I do move, we cannot see really. I can move the curve around, okay. Yep. If I rotate it, it rotates based on that point, as if the rotation axis was a perpendicular line to this point, okay. So I can rotate in other directions, but always based on that point, okay. So if I move the curve, I'm gonna move this pivot point. Let's say move the pivot, and now I'm gonna press Ctrl Alt, okay. And if I go to the curve and drag with the left mouse button, you'll see that now the pivot point snaps to the curve, okay. So I can reset the pivot point here or here. Let's say I will put it right there, and I do now a rotation. So now the curve will rotate based on that CV. Maybe this is the most useful place for a pivot, you know, to rotate based on that point, or maybe in that point, so you can fix this point and then move all the curve based on that, instead of having the pivot point anywhere. So another thing I can do is pick the curve, pick pivot point, and now instead of, I'm gonna move it here. Instead of pressing Ctrl Alt, I'm gonna press only Ctrl. So with Ctrl, I can snap the pivot point to a CV, okay. Instead of moving, you know, if I press Ctrl Alt, I can put the pivot point on the curve, okay. If I take it to the stream, yeah, I can take it to this extreme or to this extreme, okay. But in the middle, I have the pivot point in the curve, okay. So if I only press Ctrl, I can place a pivot point on a CV. Okay, let's try the rotation now. So now it rotates based on that point. Okay, nice. So I'm gonna leave my pivot point here. Okay, and now I'm going to try to draw a curve from this CV to continue my curve. Okay, so I pick the curve. Let's say I want to open the shelf and it's empty. Don't worry about it. Let's draw a curve here. Let's say I'm gonna draw a 1 degree curve. Okay, if I don't do anything, I have to pick one point, another point, but I want to start the curve from that CV. Okay, so let's erase this one, pick it again. If I press Ctrl Alt, I can snap the new curve to an existing curve. Okay, and let's say drag it with the left mouse button over here, and now we'll drag it to the extreme, release all the keys, and now press the second point position, and we have our new curve, and this 1 degree curve, one span. Okay. And okay, I can convert this to a 3 degree curve if I want to. So that's how you snap curves to existing curves you have. Okay, if I do another one, let's say I want to draw a line instead from the extremes, I want to draw it from the inside, so I press Ctrl Alt, say this is going to be my first point, and then this is going to be my second point. So I can do that too. Okay, and if we pick that curve, you'll see that its pivot point is set here. So if I rotate it, this can be rotated from there. Okay, I can change the pivot point here, so don't worry too much about the pivot point. Is only that you know about it and how to change its position, and it's useful to know these snapping options we have, so we can draw better curves and precisely to existing curves. You know, if I wouldn't do that, this curve wouldn't be starting in the end of this curve. Okay, it will be somewhere, but we will have a gap here. So that's very, very useful to be precise and to build good curves. Okay. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to review another two tools very useful when we're using curves. They are here in the curve edit panel. Okay, so first one, see the duplicate curve. I'm going to drag it here and press duplicate. Okay, okay, we will set these options to default and press duplicate, and if I pick this curve, it's going to duplicate and create another curve. It's a copy of the original. Okay, so if I press nothing and now I want to pick a curve, here we have two. So if I select with the left mouse button, this context menu appears and tells me that you have two objects here, this curve that was original and the reveal curve, because it's a duplicate, the program calls it reveal curve. Okay, so I'm gonna pick, I don't mind, they are both the same curve. Okay, so I'm gonna pick this one and I'm gonna move it so we can see what we're doing, so we can create a duplicate from that curve. If I do the same with this, yeah, I will do the same, reveal and move it so we can create copies, and it's very, very easy. Duplicate, select the tool and pick, just click once on the curve and it's already duplicate. And now we will have to pick the curve and move it around. So we can create duplicates of our curves very easily. Okay, so that's for duplicate. Okay, and now I'm going to see a very useful tool for getting better curves from probably other curves that are not as best as we expected, or if you have another model that someone has handed you and you open it and it's not very professional or very well drawn, you can have curves in some points like this one. Maybe if I pick this curve, this is a 3-degree curve with 15 spans, and as you can see here, we have these points that are a little bit off, so my curve doesn't have a good CV distribution. You know, it's a very uneven. We have here, and then we go down, up again here. So this is a very awful curve. Okay, so let's use the fit curve tool. This is useful for creating a new curve based on this one, but we can control, instead of doing a duplicate as I've done now, the duplicate option will create the same curve twice. Okay, so let's pick this one and move it. Okay, so we have the same curve twice. Okay, so this is not useful for in this case. If we use the fit curve, I'm gonna pick this curve, and the software is gonna create now a 3-degree curve, because the setting is set to create a 3-degree curve based on this curve. Okay, trying to approximate the new curve to the old curve. Okay, but maybe for this type of curvature, if we increase the degree a little bit, you'll see with 5-degree curve, well, doesn't do a good job. Yeah, we can move these arrows, so instead of calculating the whole curve, we can calculate shorter segments of the curve. Okay, so let's stay with 3. I think with 3 here, yeah, this is better. Okay, we have better distribution of CVs. If we pick 5, you'll see that, yeah, we have 5, but we don't have good distribution. If we make this curve, we will have to manually do a lot of work to try to draw these better lines. So I think let's stay with 3 for in this curve. We can apply a curvature comb for this curve inside the tool, but yeah, to see what we're doing, if I pick 5, yeah, you'll see that we'll have inflections. Our curvature comb is not nice. Okay, so let's stay with 3. Okay, and now I pick nothing, exit the tool, and I will have this one that I can delete. And now, if you want, and now I can pick this curve, and here in the control panel I can change the degree to 5, and as you can see, these will give me a better distribution of my CVs. Yeah, another thing that we can do is try to use the X transform CV2 that we already seen in the other videos. Yeah, accept it with the spacebar to change the degree. Now I can use this tool, maybe if I want to select the CV and slide it, so we can move around some CVs to have a better distribution of our CV layout. Okay, and yeah, I can do this if I apply it in my locators to the curvature graph for this curve. Okay, I can use these tools so I can see what I'm doing, if I'm improving my curve, or you know. as you can see here, I have a better curve graph, and I have extracted this kind of curve information and I have converted to a better curve. You know, if we try to pick this curve and try to take this to 1, okay, maybe in this case it works, it can work too, okay. Or maybe we change to 5 and degree 1, you will see what will happen, okay. So sometimes it's not only using the control panel, like you can use the feed tool and then the control panel, and okay, you can try to do this so you can see what is the result. And now here we have a better distribution of a nice comb for our curve. I'm gonna take up the sensitivity so I can be more precise with my tool. Yeah, I think this is better. If I use the slide tool a little bit, so I can change the curvature up and down. So I think here would be nice. Yeah. It's nice flow, no bumps in our curvature graph, no inflections. Okay, so I think this is a good process to try to improve this kind of stuff. Maybe you have a model for someone and he doesn't know how to use nerves, and you get these kind of curves in some places, so you can improve that doing this process. Okay, yeah, so yeah, that's all for now with this video. I hope you find it useful, and see you in the next one.